We've all been there. You're stoked to see your favorite team in action, then, bam, you get slammed with sky-high ticket prices. But what happens when those prices change based on the visiting team's star player? Is that fair to the loyal fans who just want to see their team play, regardless of the opponent? That's the hot topic in Minnesota, where the Lynx are feeling the heat for their new ticket pricing strategy. The reason? None other than basketball phenom Caitlin Clark. It's a debate igniting passions across the sports world and raising questions about loyalty, fairness, and the almighty dollar. Let's be real, folks. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's a phenomenon. Her dazzling skills on the court have made her a household name and a walking highlight reel. But her impact goes beyond the court. She's a box office magnet, drawing huge crowds wherever she plays. Clark's presence in the WNBA has been a game-changer, literally. Attendance records are being shattered, and merchandise is flying off the shelves. Teams are seeing green, and they're adjusting their strategies accordingly.
This begs the question, is it Clark's talent we're paying for, or is it becoming about the spectacle?
Enter the Minnesota Lynx. They've adopted a dynamic pricing model, and let me tell you, it's raising eyebrows. Tickets for games against Clark's team are significantly higher than those against other opponents. Season ticket holders are even facing tiered pricing, with games against Clark's team commanding a premium.
The Lynx argue they're simply responding to market demand. They say it's a way to maximize revenue and keep the team competitive. But critics argue it's a slap in the face to loyal fans, pricing them out of seeing their own team.
It's a classic case of supply and demand, but at what cost? Here's the thing, the Lynx aren't alone. This type of dynamic pricing, driven by star power, is becoming increasingly common across the sports landscape. From LeBron James to Lionel Messi, teams are realizing the financial potential of individual athletes and adjusting their strategies accordingly. It's a reflection of the evolving relationship between sports and entertainment. Teams are no longer just selling a game, they're selling an experience, and star players are the main attraction.
The question is, where does it end? Will we see a day when every game is priced differently based on the players involved?
So, is this surge in ticket prices a case of cold-hearted greed, or is it just savvy business? This question has sparked heated debates among fans, economists, and sports analysts alike. On one side, there are those who argue that the rising costs are a blatant example of corporate greed, exploiting the passion and loyalty of fans for financial gain. On the other side, some believe that it's simply a reflection of the market dynamics, where supply and demand dictate prices.
The answer, my friends, is not so simple. Fans are torn. Social media is flooded with mixed reactions, with some fans expressing outrage and others showing understanding. The debate is further complicated by the fact that ticket prices are influenced by various factors, including team performance, player salaries, and even the economic conditions of the region.
Some are willing to shell out the big bucks to see their favorite players go head-to-head. For these fans, the experience of watching a live game is priceless, and they are ready to pay a premium for the thrill and excitement. They argue that the high prices are justified by the quality of the entertainment and the memories created.
Others argue that it creates a system where only the wealthy can afford to attend games. This exclusivity can alienate a large portion of the fan base, particularly those who have supported the team through thick and thin, but now find themselves priced out. The frustration is palpable, as many feel that the soul of the sport is being compromised for profit.
The ethical implications are complex. On one hand, teams are businesses, and they have a right to maximize their profits. They need to cover the costs of running a team, paying players, and maintaining facilities. On the other hand, there's a moral responsibility to ensure that the sport remains accessible to all fans, regardless of their financial status. On one hand, teams are businesses, and they have a right to maximize their profits. They argue that higher ticket prices are necessary to attract top talent and provide a high-quality experience for fans. The revenue generated from ticket sales is often reinvested into the team, improving facilities and enhancing the overall fan experience.
On the other hand, sports have always been about community and shared passion. The magic of sports lies in its ability to bring people together, transcending social and economic barriers. When ticket prices soar, it risks turning a communal experience into an exclusive event, accessible only to a privileged few. Pricing out a segment of the fan base can erode that sense of community. Empty seats in the stadium and disappointed fans watching from home are stark reminders of the divide that high ticket prices can create. The long-term impact on fan loyalty and the sport's popularity is a concern that cannot be ignored.
It's a delicate balancing act, and there's no easy answer. Teams must navigate the fine line between profitability and accessibility, ensuring that they remain financially viable while staying true to the spirit of the sport. The ongoing debate highlights the need for a thoughtful approach, one that considers the interests of all stakeholders involved.
Let's take a look around, folks. The world of sports and entertainment is vast and diverse, but there's a common thread that ties many of these events together.
This dynamic pricing strategy isn't unique to the WNBA. In fact, it's a widespread practice across various sports leagues and entertainment sectors. We've seen it in Major League Baseball, where ticket prices can vary significantly. Teams often charge more for games against popular opponents like the New York Yankees or Boston Red Sox. These matchups draw larger crowds, and the increased demand allows teams to adjust prices accordingly.
The NBA has also experimented with variable pricing, a strategy that has been met with both praise and criticism. Adjusting ticket costs based on factors like opponent, day of the week, and even the time of day allows the league to maximize revenue while also managing attendance levels. For instance, a game on a Friday night might be priced higher than a game on a Monday afternoon, reflecting the higher demand for weekend entertainment.
Even the concert industry uses similar tactics. Promoters and venues adjust ticket prices based on the artist's popularity, the venue size, and the overall demand for tickets. This means that a ticket to see a world-renowned artist might cost significantly more than a ticket for a lesser-known performer, even if the concert is at the same venue.
This shows us that the issue extends beyond one league or even one sport. It's a common practice that reflects broader trends in how entertainment is consumed and monetized. It's a reflection of a larger trend in the entertainment industry, where dynamic pricing is becoming the norm. As fans, we may not always love it, but it's a strategy that's here to stay, shaping our experiences and the economics of the events we love to attend.
So, what does this all mean for the future of sports fandom? Will we see a day when only the elite can afford to attend live games?
It's a sobering thought, but one that we need to consider. Technology is changing the game, literally and figuratively.
With streaming services offering high-quality broadcasts and virtual reality experiences becoming increasingly immersive, fans have more options than ever before.
The challenge for teams will be to find ways to make the in-person experience truly special and worth the premium price tag.
It all boils down to this: finding a balance between maximizing profits and maintaining affordability for fans.
Teams need to generate revenue to stay competitive, but they also need to avoid alienating their most loyal supporters.
It's a delicate dance, and one that will require careful consideration and open dialogue between teams, players, and fans.
The future of sports depends on finding that sweet spot where everyone wins.
Here's the reality, folks. The landscape of sports is undergoing a seismic shift, and it's all about the players. For decades, the power has been concentrated in the hands of team owners, league executives, and corporate sponsors. But now, we're witnessing a transformation where athletes are taking control of their own narratives and destinies. We're entering a new era in sports where the power dynamic is shifting. Athletes are no longer just participants in the game. They are becoming the game changers. They are leveraging their influence, their social media presence, and their personal brands to create new opportunities and redefine what it means to be a professional athlete.
Players like Caitlin Clark aren't just athletes. They're brands, they're influencers, they're global icons. They have millions of followers on social media, and their every move is watched by fans around the world. This level of visibility and influence is unprecedented, and it's changing the way we think about sports and athletes.
And their marketability is having a direct impact on the economics of the game. Endorsement deals, sponsorships, and merchandise sales are all being driven by the star power of these athletes. This is not just about selling products. It's about creating a connection with fans and building a loyal following. This raises a whole new set of questions. How should the revenue generated by an athlete's popularity be distributed? Should the players have a say in how their image and likeness are used? These are complex issues that require careful consideration and thoughtful discussion.
Should players have a say in how their popularity is leveraged? The traditional model of sports management is being challenged, and it's clear that a new approach is needed. Athletes are more than just performers, they are stakeholders in the industry, and their voices need to be heard. Should they receive a cut of the increased revenue generated by their star power? This is not just a question of fairness, it's a question of sustainability. If athletes are not fairly compensated for the value they bring to the table, the entire system could be at risk.
One thing's for sure. This is just the beginning of a fascinating and complex conversation about the future of sports, fandom, and the price of passion. As we move forward, it's essential to find a balance that respects the contributions of athletes, while ensuring the continued growth and success of the sports industry. The power is shifting, and it's up to all of us to navigate this new landscape together.